award. We're really proud of the helmet. We really like that. We find it is an interesting thing, and people really like that. So we continue to have that helmet. The third, and I would argue the most important award that we give out at our tournament is the Walter Ulrich Tabula Rasa Award. This award is given to, is dedicated to the memory of Walter Ulrich, who was the director of forensics and debate coach at the University of Northern Iowa. If you don't know who Walter Ulrich is in the policy debate world, you are missing out. The guy was a titan, published incessantly, wrote theories, turnaround theories, counterplan theories, was a theory, was an educator, and was dedicated to adequate and effective engagement and pedagogy for his students. He is a titan and will be remembered after his passing in the early 90s. One of the ways in which Westside, we had worked with Dr. Ulrich for many, many years, and he was an influential person on the Westside program itself. And so in his memory, we have created, and we established this in 1991, the Walter A. Ulrich Tabula Rasa Award. And we want to recognize excellency and excellence and dedication in terms of good coaching and judging. We want to recognize those outstanding critics because those are important to our activity, and we want to recognize outstanding coaches for their expertise and their education and the impact they have on their students. I have the pleasure of presenting the Walter A. Ulrich Tabula Rasa Award this year to Steve Foral. He wasn't feeling very well, so we're going to give it to, I want to give it to him in absentia, but I will meet with him with a lunch date next week, and I will give him the Walter Ulrich Award. Well, here's why I think he needs to receive, or is a deserving recipient of the award. I'll try to keep it brief, so I know y'all will get out of here. I can talk all day about Steve Foral. I met Steve in like 1987. I've been friends, and he's been a mentor of mine for probably coming on 30 years. He has been a pillar of the debate community. If you need someone to judge around, he will do it. Even if it's not his event, he will do it without question. His dedication to this event, his activity, is unsurpassed. Even by me, who's been in it for 30-some years, and others who've been here, he's been in it longer. Steve deserves this award because he is dedicated to pedagogy and increasing the education of individuals. And he takes his judging seriously. Here's what kind of spurred this idea for me. I swung by the Millward West room just to kind of hang out because I'm a nerd and I like to hang out at great tournaments. And I was at the end of the tournament, and Steve came into the tab room, and he brought all his papers and sat down at the table and was writing notes furiously, and 1, 2, 6, and drawing arrows. And I was looking at it, and I was like, "What are you doing there, Steve?" And he was like, "Well, I'm making my top 6 list." And I was like, "All right." And I watched him pore over his notes from the congressional session that day, pour over them, look at them, go back, write notes, draw arrows. I mean, he took it seriously. And he's been taking these rounds and this debate stuff seriously for probably over 30 to 40 years. He doesn't get tired. And so I recognized his dedication to making the best ballot and the best arguments and finding the best reason that he could, because he values and understands that this education is important. He wants to see you all grow and progress as much as anybody else. Steve's also been a mentor of mine. I remember for years, one of the things I looked forward to the most, besides seeing my friends at tournaments and hopefully winning some rounds and getting some trophies, was listening to Steve's stories about debate tournaments in the past in the Judges Lounge. I look forward to that because they were really funny stories and they were really poignant and actually had a moral to them. So I think that Steve Foral is most deserving of this award, and I cannot be prouder than to have the opportunity to present this to him, even in absentia. I can't think of anyone more deserving of this award than Steve. So, thank you.